Okay, masters. These go up before every show, and we just leave them alone. We forget about them the rest of the life. This row is all of your overhead mics, and we set them before the show, and we leave them up at this level and never adjust them again. Once the show starts, they're controlled by the two red, right and left, that says stage. That turns them on, and that turns them off. The other half of this mixer we use for the wireless mics and any special mics that we wire backstage. And they're controlled by the two red, right and left, that say wireless. So if these are on and these are off, nothing's really on. You can turn that up and you can work the wireless individually with these sliders. Or you can set a scene if you know who's coming on, and you can turn them all on and off with this. Or if you're in a scene and it's running and they're not quite loud enough, you can bump them all up, or you can bump them up individually. Okay?
Right.
The two blue ones are for music. They run, as long as the masters are on, they run independently of these red ones. So that way you can have the music playing while these are off. So for a scene change, when the scene ends and it goes to a blackout, you always want to make sure you pull these off so you don't hear the noise from all the scene change music. So that way your scene change music can still be playing while all the microphones and everything else is off. Only the music will be playing. And there's two of them. There's for the left CD and the right CD. Now the difficult part about those is this little button right here. We send the music alone to the cast backstage, and that's through this little button. And for it to go backstage, it's got to be down. The two top knobs in that little section are which control the volume. So if the cast is singing not loud enough, or it's a full cast number, you can turn these. You can't see me doing it, but you turn them both up. Normally, the normal sound level is straight up. But if you get good at this, you can put a finger on each one and your thumb on the other side, and you can roll them both at the same time, and you can roll them both down. It's magic. So most of the time, for some reason or another, we have this button up, and if they can't hear music backstage, it's because this is not depressed and it's not actually sending the music backstage.
And those can be found above the effects and music sliders,
right,
on the mixer. Okay.
If you run into trouble and you have a mic that's making noise or something, you'll notice the lights on this right here will go up to red. You can push this big square button, and that, if we turn this on, you can actually see the lights, huh?
Fantastic. Right, right here is where the power is.
So if you had something that was making a lot of noise, or sometimes over here with the hanging mics, they hit a mic with the sets, so we'll mark which one it is, and when it comes to that point in the scene, you just hit that big square button, it turns on that red light, and that is a mute. Keeps it from making any noise at all. Just below that mute button is a little one that turns yellow, and that's to listen to the sound on the headsets.
Very important.
Even if the microphones, like when you want to check body mics before the show starts, as long as everything's off, you can push that and you can listen to it in the headphones. I'm not sure what that noise is.
Yeah, we have an interesting noise running on the mixer right now. Is that maybe is our fan?
The fan, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's making noise, but we'll find out.
All right.
What else did I miss? That's pretty much it.
Okay. Now, as far as during a regular show, what would you say the most intensive concentration needs to be focused on? It's just making sure that levels stay consistent. What buttons would you say you ride the most on this mixer during a show?
Well,
Or
the important thing,
favorites?
especially with this wireless mic, the wireless mic is to help hear the kids. We don't want to overpower all the rest of the kids in the show. We just want to help. Sometimes there's lines that we need to hear. Sometimes we can even put a wireless mic somewhere on the stage when we want to just pick up that area. But we don't want to hear it over everything else. Unless you have two people out for a solo that's, that's a romantic solo or something, and they're out there on stage all by themselves, you can have just their mics off and turn the overheads off. And you can have a nice scene if it ends on something like that. During a lot of the music, especially in this show, in Seussical, there's a lot of words behind the music. So you can turn this music down, and you can even turn it completely off, because the music will be playing on the monitors on the stage, and the audience will still hear it. But you want to turn it down during the lines, so you don't miss all of the lines. You don't.
Okay.
And then that's, I mean, the thing to remember is just before lights up is to kick the overhead mics on. So even if you miss a body mic or something, you've still got sound on the stage.
Okay.
And parents will yell at you and say, "Why don't you turn my kid's body mic up?" You say, "That's because they're not on one."
All right. All right. Well, hopefully this
Okay.
video will help the team with a general rundown of the mixer, and we appreciate Bob taking time out of his busy schedule to show us the mixing board. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bob.